Hello everybody, Spellsey back again with another video. It's July 11th, 2019, and with today's Old School RuneScape update, Jagex is updating one of the most popular magic training methods in the game. Jagex has slightly nerfed magic splashing in today's update by limiting the places that you can splash your magic spells at to train. For those of you who are unfamiliar with how it works, splashing is a training technique where you can cast spells that won't deal any damage on enemies that cannot kill you. The easiest way to do this is to wear full melee gear and attack things like chickens, rats, or spiders where they literally cannot kill you since they only hit a 0. Generally speaking, the magic XP is not very fast, but it is one of the most AFKable things you can do in the game. Given the way that the RuneScape combat system works, you are able to stay in combat for 20 minutes without logging out and without touching your game at all. Before today's update, the most common place to splash to train magic was in Lumbridge due to the large amount of low-level NPCs, but since splashing is an unorthodox training method and has negative connotations from a large part of the community, Jagex has decided to remove the ability to get any splashing experience within Lumbridge and nearby areas. So for today's video, I'll be showing you guys the new top 5 best places to train your magic by splashing in free-to-play, and for beginners, I'll also be showing you guys how you can splash if you do choose to train this way. If you're new to splashing, in order to splash every spell, you just need to have your magic attack bonus be at least -65. This will prevent you from doing any damage, but will give you the base experience for casting spells. Now the best way to achieve this is to wear any melee plate body, plate legs, full helm, and kite shield. But that's not everything though. If you are in free-to-play, you will need to wear Dragonhide Vambraces, which require at least 40 range. Doing so will allow you to equip any staff you'd like to save money on runes, whether that be an air staff, a fire staff, or for members, a smoke battle staff. If you do not have 40 range, go to Draynor Village and talk to the holiday item seller Diego, buy a cursed goblin staff from him. This staff will allow you to auto-cast any spell, but it has no magic bonus, so you'll be able to sit at -65 magic without having to have the Vambraces. So now that you are at -65 magic, grab your mind runes, choose the strike spell that you want to cast between levels 1 and 13 magic, and let's find something to splash on for the next 20 minutes. For this video, I will be using the RuneLite plugin called NPC Indicators. What this plugin does is it draws a box around whatever NPC you decide to choose. For this video, I've chosen rats, chickens, and spiders, and it will mark the tile that they stand on. This makes it a little bit easier for me to show you guys where they are because these are very small monsters, small mobs, and it can be very easy to miss them. So you'll see that square around there. You do not have to turn this on, of course. It's more just to make it a little bit easier to point out where they are. So coming in at number 5 on the top 5 places to splash when you are in free-to-play post-update, we have Draynor Village. Now, on the surface level, you see 4 rats right in the area. This is over here where you start the Vampire Slayer quest. These are usually open, and there's plenty of worlds that you can hop around to be able to find them. The good thing is that there's a bank nearby, there's no monsters nearby, and you can splash here very safely. When I recently made my new free-to-play account, I used this area right here and it worked very well. However, if you are in like the low level 50s or higher, what you can try to do is actually go into the Draynor sewers. If you go in there, and you need to be level, I believe 53 is the level that you should be, because there are monsters that are level 26 down there that will aggress you if you get too close. But if you go into the Draynor sewers, there's easily 20 rats that are all around that you can attack any of them. Over by the anvil is a safe spot that you can go ahead and attack them, that the higher level skeletons and zombies do not walk over and attack you. So if you are a low level and you need this as like a last resort place to splash, this could be an excellent alternative. And there's so many down here, with all the worlds that you could switch to, you should always find an open spot. Now coming in at number 4, we have level 2 of the Stronghold of Security. Now this is an awesome spot to go ahead and splash, but the big problem is that a lot of people are not going to want to walk all the way here. But if you decide to, 1, it's single combat, 2, there's so many different rats to choose from, but you do have to go pretty much all the way through level 2 into the back left corner. Of course, I'm, well up into my level 100, so I don't have to necessarily worry about dying here, but if you are a lower level, maybe flesh crawlers or level 44 zombies might pose a little bit more of a threat, and you'd have to be a little bit more careful. However, once you get down into this area, you'll see that there is nothing really around here that can go ahead and do anything to you, and that alone will make this for one of the better spots that you can choose. So there's 5 of them just in this spot. and they pretty much loop all the way around, all the way up to the north. Again, that is the southwest corner of the level 2 of Stronghold of Security. So I like this spot a lot. However, you pretty much do have to have your 2-step on your account set up, otherwise it's going to be a massive pain getting to here every time. Moving on, we have number 3, and that is the chickens that are at the Champions Guild. Now, this is a really good spot, but the reason I'm only putting it at spot number 3 is because there's a lot of pre-requirements for a free-to-play person. So in order to get into the Champions Guild, you need to have 32 quest points, which can be a lot for a brand new account. However, the bonus to that is that if you are a mid to high level account and you're looking to splash, well then this spot is almost always open because there are 4, 5, 6 chickens here, and there's also not a lot of people who are going to be going into the Champions Guild regardless. The low levels cannot attack it over the little wall right there, and that gives you multiple chickens to go ahead and attack. Just be a little bit careful. There is the big evil chicken random event retirement that is right there. If you accidentally click that, it is going to hurt a lot. So just keep that in mind. But overall, this is an awesome spot, and you can teleport there with the Chronicle book that you can buy from Dango as well, which makes it one of the quickest ones to get to. Before we get too far through the top 10, I do want to go ahead and point out a couple honorable mentions. Now, these are still pretty good spots to go ahead and splash at, especially if you can't find any other spots that are open, but overall, they got kind of sent on the back burner because all of these ones that I've been showing you guys so far, I believe are significantly better. So the first honorable mention that we have are over in Remington. You have about 4 different routes that you can choose from. This place is a commonly known place, and there's only 4 there, so I felt that it probably wasn't necessarily a good choice for putting it in here. There's a lot of people, I think, that are going to go ahead and default to this spot because they just remember that they are there right now, and that will end up making the spot probably a little bit more crowded, and there's not all that many things to choose from. Second up, we have the spiders that are over in Al-Kharid. There are only 3 of these, and they are kind of out of the way, so I elected to take these off of the top 5. But this is probably a pretty good spot for you guys to go ahead and at least check out if you are on that side of the map, since, if you're in, let's say the Duel Arena area, or if you're at Al-Kharid for whatever reason, this might be the closest place to go. But given the other locations, if you're going to just splash for several hours, I figured I wouldn't go ahead and throw these in there. But again, like I said, if you were just looking for a place to be, this is definitely a spot that you could consider. And finally, we have the chicken coop that is around Falador. This is probably a pretty good place to train, but just kind of like everything else I was going over, I feel like this is one of the spots that people are going to go ahead and resort to as one of their first resorts if they're not like looking at a guide or looking at a video or checking all the locations, just because like everybody walks past it, everybody knows that it exists, and this is going to be one of those places I feel that are going to be more crowded as the Nerf kind of starts impacting a lot of our people who splash to train their magic. So overall, those are some excellent places that you can consider, but they did not make the top 5 list for today. So let's go ahead and let's continue with the rest of the top 5. Coming in at number 2, we have the chickens by the Lumbridge Windmill. Now, there are so many chickens. Like, literally, this is the best place to splash right now, but I'm putting it at number 2 for one reason, and that is I think it was an oversight. This place is so close to Lumbridge, and so many low levels walk past this. It's literally a 30-second walk right after you get off Tutorial Island. It seems a little weird that they elected not to go ahead and block this off, but they did make you unable to splash over in Farmer Frank, or whatever his name is, the guy that you start the sheep shearer quest, just south of that, you can't splash there, and north of it, where the cows are, you can't splash there either. But for whatever reason, this big chicken area, you can splash in. So I'm a very firm believer that this will end up getting patched at some point, and it's kind of more like an oops, we forgot to do this one. But on the off chance that they don't, this is an excellent spot, and if you're watching this video on day of release or day of update, like, this is probably the place to go. However, again, I think it's going to go ahead and get nerfed at some point, so let's go ahead and move on to number 1. Now, before we move into number 1, I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate you guys made it this far. If you did enjoy the video, consider dropping a thumbs up, as it helps out this video and it helps out my channel more than you guys could probably ever imagine. Just by dropping that simple thumbs up, it goes ahead and it bumps my video up on all of the recommended for everybody else, and it makes my video work well with the YouTube algorithm in order for me to be able to grow the channel and make better content for you guys in the future. Also, if you want to see more content, of course, feel free to go ahead and subscribe and maybe hit the notification button, where you guys will be notified every time I post a video. So, for number 1, we have Varrock Sewers. Now, I almost forgot about this spot, and then as I was walking by, I was like, oh wow, this is one of the biggest spots that you can get to in free-to-play for splashing. And there's only level 3s around there as far as like the level 3 giant rats, so nothing can really kill you at a low level, right? You can just stay down there. There's an endless amount, and you pair maybe 20 rats down there with the 50 different worlds you can choose from, and there is a seemingly endless amount of places to splash. So this is absolutely number one. This will not be removed from splashing unless they remove all of splashing, because it's so far away from Lumbridge, but it's very close to the Varrock Bank. There's only pros that I can think of. Now there is one flaw to this spot, but I think the little bit of a flaw kind of is outweighed by just how many rats there are here, and that is it's multi-combat down here. Now the reason that's an issue is because theoretically someone could come down here and attack the rat that you're attacking and just completely ruin what you're doing, and you could log out, right? The reason this isn't really that big of a deal is just that there's so many rats down here and that people are going to be splashing down here that it would just take someone who's just griefing to come down here and mess up your stuff. But this place is so big and it's so expansive, and there's so many places that you could walk to stay out of the way of the average person just walking on by doing a quest or going ahead and, killing something, that you can kind of, just stay off to the side. Maybe you want to go all the way to the east, or maybe you want to go far, far, far back in there, or maybe you want to just splash right in plain sight, right? There's plenty of alternatives, and it makes it to where this is still a great spot. However, I'll say it again, if the chicken place from number 2 does not get patched, that's probably the best place to be. But if it does get patched, this is going to be your go-to area. There's just an endless amount of rats here. So that's my number 1, I think. But what do you guys think? Are there any places that I missed in free-to-play that you prefer to splash? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Otherwise, guys, if you enjoyed the video, again, feel free to leave a thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next video.